Hello, dear viewers. You're watching Open Horn of Africa, our weekly program, Gada. Today, I have a guest from Wollega University, Dr. Dereje, historian there, and we will talk about the Gada system and stay with us. Doctor, thank you for joining us.
You are welcome.
Would you tell us about your personal background, please?
I studied history in undergraduate and the master's level and the PhD level. Of course, I've worked on Gada system in BA and at master's level. My thesis is focused on the Gada system. And at PhD level, of course, I have worked on the interplay between agriculture and the environment.
That's great. To begin with, would you tell us about the philosophy of the Oromo Gada system on environmental protection? What Gada tells us about environmental protection?
Well, every society has its own worldview that actually manages the society with the environment. The Oromo have developed an elaborate system of environmental management, which is part and parcel of the Gada system. You see, in the Gada system, we have in the Oromo worldview, we have three entities which explains about creator, and the human beings. So the philosophy, the worldview of the Oromo, in fact, revolves around the creator and the creator and the human being. According to the Oromo worldview, human being is part and parcel of the environment, and the creatures are considered from this philosophy. So the Gada system has its own rules and values for plants, animals, water bodies, and the others. So the Gada system has an elaborate rules and the values for such creature.
Yeah, of course, the Gada value tells us to protect and preserve the environmental and as well as the ecology of the around. Would you connect the current degree legacy as well as the Gada system, please?
Well, in the Gada system, there is very clear rules and regulations on the use of land, especially land use, water use, and how you protect and preserve for the next generation. So this shows that although the Gada system is not being well practiced in different parts of the Oromo land, there are traditions which are part of the life of the society. It means the life of the society by itself is the legacy, the heritage of the Gada system the society maintained. So the Oromo believes in greening. The Oromo believes in protecting forest, trees, and there are rules and regulations how to use forest. Even there are exceptional trees that are not cut and used in every part of the society.
Do you think that Gada system principles on childbearing and the mechanisms that the Oromo people use to grow up its children?
Well, now we are not really practicing Gada system, but the Gada system has its own ways of socializing children, and that's the way the Oromo used to bring up children. So such socialization, in fact, builds children's psychology. It promote or it actually initiate children to love their family, to love their society, to love their country, and to be actually patriot, even if patriot enough. And the Gada system, in fact, is the system of socializing children even you see at each grade there are rights, children enjoy, and there are obligations they should discharge. So such values clearly shows us that the Gada system was very, very active in socializing children.
Do you think that the Gada values being properly practiced in this generation?
Well, the Gada system is not yet restored, and for that matter, if you look back in history, there are several challenges and acts that led to the decline of the Gada system, and the decline of Gada system means the deterioration of the values, not only the values the Gada has for environment, but also for social well-being, for democratic administration. Every part of the Gada system has been declined. That's why we are not really practicing Gada system at this time.
Okay, what should be done to practice this Oromo Gada system in the existing generation?
Well, you see, we don't now, for people who knows the Gada system well, the Gada system very, very complex, and we don't expect to restore all parts of all practices and the theories of the Gada system, but we can work on what the time actually allows. So I don't think the Gada system of the 16th century or the Gada system that existed before 16th century should all restored and be functional at this time. But we can be very selective. We can at least pick up Gada values which can fit to the 20th century time, and we can utilize. This can be done through institutionalizing the Gada political culture, Gada values for the environment, Gada values for social connections, Gada values for socialization, Gada values for peace, and Gada values for harmonious ways of coexistence.
Okay, that's great. How do you see the restoration of Gada system in Western Oromo, especially in 4 Wollega zones, because it's totally forgotten there?
Well, restoration of the Gada system may requires the real engagement in restoring the values of the Gada system in terms of cultural values, social values, rules and regulations, and even the political power the Gada used to practice. But for the last 13 years or 3 decades, there were attempts to at least identify where the Gada, especially centers where the Gada used to be practiced, and even the ways the Gada system used to function in the western part of Oromia, including the laws of the Makobili. There are 65 laws of Makobili, which actually focuses on Safu, moral values. And the moral values, these moral values used to be very, very effective, and one of the canonical laws in the life of the Macha Oromo, as the Borana have Gobba Allah, and the other Oromo clans have lawmakers. Makobili was the known lawmaker among the Macha Oromo. And what we remember at this time is the law of Makobili, which actually the person who is known in revitalizing the Safu system, and actually several institutions, including Wollega University, tried to restore this and promote the values so that the society can reuse such moral values and revitalize this coexisting system.
How do you describe the history of the cultural heritage of the Oromo Gada system and the political system? When the Oromo people practice the Gada system, there is also political system. As an historian, how do you describe it?
Well, now a society exists if its culture exists, and that's culture is I think the symbol of an identity. So the Oromo, despite this external and internal problems, external pressure and internal problems, the Oromo maintained several parts of their cultural heritage. And of course, again, despite the distortions and wrong narratives on the Oromo Gada system, we have now knowledge that have been accumulated and developed on the Gada system, but that's not still enough to revitalize the Gada system. You need to really engage in revitalizing and practicing the Gada system if we think the Gada system can restore the strong nation in the past and strong cultural nation that connects the society to their environment and good social relations and such things are required. But still, Gada means power. As far as the Abagadas have power, we can't say Gada system is fully restored.
Okay. In the past regime, as you know, the Oromo people history was written in a distorted manner. What is expected from the current generation to correct these wrong narratives and bad documentation?
Well, in the last century, in fact, beginning from the 19th century, there is a narrative which is known as colonial narrative on Africa. Similarly, in Ethiopia, the state used to utilize history as a tool of nation building, and history served the politics in the last century in Ethiopian history. So it means history was not correctly written. It distorted people's history, not only the history of the Oromo people, but also the history of nations and nationalities in Ethiopia was distorted in the historiography of Ethiopia in the past. This was, the time when history used to serve the politics, so I think this distorted history has been also under scrutiny, and many historians, very nationalist historians, of course, we can't say it was the reason why history writing was radicalized in Ethiopia, have been deconstructing the wrong narratives and reconstructing people's history. So we do have now good knowledge of history, even on the Gada system, on the Oromo and the other nations and nationalities. So by this time, there is two polarized writing system in Ethiopia, the radicalist and the imperialist or the Ethiopianist writing system. But this doesn't contribute to nation building, because there are the two, antagonist, opposing views. So it's good, I think, to bring this to the middle ground. Is a time to produce narratives which include, you see, the state history and the societal history also, so that we can compromise between the two opposing historiographies. Otherwise, history would continue to be to be a tool of distorting societal culture and the history itself.
Well, do you think that this indigenous Oromo Gada system promoted well as needed or as intended to be promoted?
Well, as I said before, for the last 3 decades, there were attempts by culture and tourism bureaus at state level, at Warada level and the zonal level to revitalize the Gada system. Beyond that, you see different universities like Haramaya, Bule Hora, Wollega University itself, Jimma University, established different institutions that act on promoting the Gada system. But you see, my comment is this is good. This is a good beginning, but there should be integration among these institutions. They should know on which sphere of the Gada system they should focus on. Then they should evaluate their plan activities and again work together. And even I recommend the collaboration among scholars, social elites, politicians, and such institutions to really engage in promoting the Gada system.
Also, the elites, as well as the government itself, are they doing well to bequeath this Gada system to the next generation?
Now, I don't think this this is enough, but that's a good beginning. You see, there are a lot of things that they should improve. It is clear that the Gada values are important. Everybody understands, but now what we need is we have to engage in restoring such values so that we would be beneficiary. The first part of the society that should be benefited is the government itself, because the Gada values positively contribute to nation building, to environmental protection, to social cohesions, and extra. So whenever they engage in such activities, there should be the integration and the coordination among these institutions.
Well, tell us about the contribution of the Oromo institutions found in various universities, especially in Oromo regional state, as you've said, in Buleora, Aramaya, Jimma, and Wollega University itself. There are Oromo cultural institutions. Do they are contributing for the promotion of Gada system or to restore the values of the Gada system?
Well, one of the best things they have done is the research in different aspects of the Gada system. Now, if you take the Bulehora, Jimma, Haramaya, and Wollega as centers of Gada studies, they have studied a lot of things about the Gada system. But what we need is such research have been done in English language, and not local language, or in Oromo, in Afan Oromo. Society, such knowledge should be disseminated to the society. Again, the institutions should also engage in teaching the society. Even should work with Gada officials and Abba Gadas. Even they have to practice such Gada system in the Gada centers in Oromia. Otherwise, simply accumulating the knowledge about the Gada system and keeping in the libraries or in the documentation may not contribute to the revitalization of the Gada system.
So they have to work on promoting and interlinked this generation with the Gada system.
Yes.
That's great. Do you think the values of Gada system will contribute for the current national dialogue process?
One of the points that I usually debate with my counterparts, especially with my colleagues, is that the contribution of the Gada system for Ethiopia itself. You see, a simple example we can present on the contribution of the Gada system is how the Oromo and the Oromo land contributed to the green parts of Ethiopia. You see, in different parts of Oromo, where the Oromo lives, there is a green environment, and there is a very balanced human and environmental relationship. But with the deterioration of the Gada system, you see, we also observed in history the deterioration of wild animals, the deterioration of forest, the degradation of soil, the degradation of natural environment. You see, so you see, in the process of declining the Gada system, led also to the process of natural environment. Not only that, the deterioration of the Gada system also deteriorated social relationship among ethnic relationship. The Oromo used to interact with other societies in Ethiopia, with its neighbors, by using these Gada values. But with the deterioration of these Gada values, the balanced system of relations between the Oromo and the other societies also deteriorated. So that, by implication, the restoration of Gada values in terms of environment, the restoration of Gada system in terms of social relations, the restoration of the Gada system in terms of economic management or resource management would contribute, especially the restoration of the Gada system in terms of identity, how the Oromo socialize and integrate other societies to the Oromo people and to its political realm, contribute to not only nation building, but also to the very, very calm and secured country in the Horn of Africa.
Good. What should be done to preserve the ceremonial ground is you can take the Bishoftu as well as Ardagilas found in Bora and Guji, as well as the Recha celebration areas of Wollega University, as you said, the Hadia area. What should be done to preserve such ceremonial grounds?
Thank you for this question. For your information, my MA research focus on Gada centers in Oromia, especially in southern part of Oromia. And in the way I also assessed Gada centers in different parts of Oromia and the status of their existence, and how much they were preserved and maintained for the current generation. Now, for your information, this is Gada centers are treated in different parts of Oromia. We reached to the extent of cutting Oda trees, and you see, we reached also to the status of establishing other constructions on the Gada system, Gada centers. Gada centers were distracted in different parts of the areas because of road construction, because of this, the wrong views I explained before, because of this prejudice and the stereotype people have to the Gada system. Gada system was distracted, and you see they are endangered at this time. So we need to at least establish some institutions which are accountable to preserve these areas, because the Oromo made such areas, the Gada centers, not because of reasons, because of full reasons, because of their strategy, otherwise because of they are centers of gathering of different clans from different parts of Oromia. So we should clearly have rules and regulations for centers for Irecha, centers for Gada gathering, centers for maybe Gada initiations also.
Okay, that's great. Before we end, if you have any final remark, you're welcome.
Thank you very much. Now, if society wants to exist, they should have also their own culture. Otherwise, a society without culture and history may not continue to be a society. By this time, we are under the threat of globalization, which is affecting every part of our living styles. So I think the restoration of Gada values that fits to this 21st century can be restored and utilized, so that the restoration of such Gada values could be one of the tools to resist these threats of globalization.
Dr. Dereje now, lecturer at Wollega University, also assistant professor there. We really appreciate for your vivid explanation on Gada system.
Thank you. Keep asking about Gada system.
Dear viewers, that brings us to the end of our program. Till next edition, have a nice time.